friends, I Rajwardhan Patil and welcome to another video on the channel Masterminds. After a very long stretch of time, I am back with another video to give you a fullest knowledge regarding stock market and finance. So let's get started. So the topic for today is the most searched term on the Google regarding stock market. And that topic is how the IPOs are allotted. Now what is an IPO? In my previous videos I have already explained about IPO, but it's worth repeating to understand all the further subjects. So let's understand. IPO, initial public offering. Okay, initial public offering. In this, any company who wants or who decides to get listed in the stock market, there is a must process for them to do to get listed in the stock market. The initial process, that is creating their IPO, launching their own IPO, in which some of the shares of their company are allowed to give away for the general people. Okay, and those price of the shares are usually less than the real price of the shares after the company gets listed in the stock market. And that's why people always strive to get IPO of any company. Okay, for an example to explain it more better, let's suppose an actor is there acting in his first film. So in the starting of the film, in the screenplay, we can see that launching this actor. Okay, but if he moves to his second film or third, fourth films, okay, he continues to do his films, the launching, this word get replaces with starring. Same here, we can relate the launching with the IPO and starring with listing in the stock market. Another example that I wanted to give is, let's suppose in a consideration, there is a software engineer who always prepares best apps, good apps for the people who are in need of that. Okay, so he had prepared his app and he wanted to test it. So that process is called beta testing. That is the must process for every software engineer if anyone wants to prepare his own app. So what happens in beta testing, that the owner of that app, or unofficially, okay, what I'm saying, listen carefully, unofficially launches his app in form of APKs. It's not in the Play Store, we will not get in the App Store, but it's unofficially in the Chrome, in some undefined unknown sources. Okay, and he will see the response that how many people are downloading my app from that unknown sources. And if the response is good, he will move forward to publish or launch that app officially in the Play Store or App Store. So we can relate the beta testing with IPO, and listing in the Play Store and App Store relate with listing in the stock market, any share listing in the stock market. So I hope you have got layman knowledge that what is IPO. From this knowledge we are only going to see that how the IPOs are allotted. So friends, let's get started. Now to understand this process, let's get an example. Let's suppose there is Dr. Joe, okay, and he wants to try stock market, and he sees that there is a company ABC, the company's IPO is going to launch in just one day, that is tomorrow date. Okay, so Uncle Joe's think of applying for it, and the day comes and he applies for it, and he also tells his friend to apply for it. But the Uncle Joe's friend, he applies for it at the last day of the IPO, and the date for applying for the IPO gets passed. Okay, and the result comes. Dr. Joe was fascinated to see that he didn't got the IPO, he didn't got his shares. So he was so confused, and he thought that why I didn't got the IPO. So with this confusion in his mind, he directly called his friend and asked about that, whether he had got his IPO. So the friend said that yes, I had got. So again Dr. Joe got confused that on the first day I applied for it, and my friend applied in the last day, and how he can get and I'm not getting that. This is because of a single term that I am going to introduce now, that is oversubscribed. Yes, now with this term you have got, with this word only you would have got that what it really means. Yes, oversubscribed, meaning that it's beyond the expectations of the company. the company expected this much amount of shares can be sold off, but a lot of shares were demanded by the people of that company, so that share was oversubscribed. And here the role of the lottery system comes in, because they can't give all the shares which were demanded by the people. Now you will be thinking, why they can't give? They want money for their welfare, so why they didn't allow some number of the people to get invested in? Why? It's what? Why they are setting their limit? There is a reason. This is because let's suppose I have my company, and if I want, I can also allow 100% of my company's property, 100% of my company's share to be given in the IPO. And let's suppose I gave, and the share got subscribed, not over subscribed, also not under subscribed, but it got subscribed. All the 100% of shares were demanded by the people. And I got listed in the stock market. Now what I have remaining with me, what I am remaining with, so that I can just continue my trade, continue my journey in the stock market? Nothing. That's why there is a calculation of each and every company, and so they decide some amount of the shares that is going to be giveaway. That is going to be giveaway in the IPO. And there is another reason, and I have already told you in this video only, that the shares in the IPO are at much less price than the real price of the IPO, than the real price of that share, same share, when it gets listed in the stock market. That's why the company also don't want their own loss. That's why they set a limit. And so let's suppose ABC company announces that they are going to launch their IPO. Another thing I wanted to tell you about the IPO is that the one who is buying the IPO can only buy the shares of that IPO in lot size, and that lot size is always announced by the company itself. Let's suppose the company ABC decides the lot size is equal to 50, means minimal amount of 50 shares one can buy. Or if he wanted to buy more than 50, then he has to buy 100. More than 100, then he has to buy 150. The multiples of the 50, and so goes on. So this is the fundamentals of IPO. Now let's come to again our main topic. So company ABC decided to launch their IPO. They also announced their lot size, and they also announced their limit. But what they are seeing at the end of the applying date for the IPO, the results came, and they saw that our share, means ABC company's shares, were oversubscribed. Let's suppose the ABC had already allowed only 1,000 shares to be given off in the IPO, but for 1,200 shares were demanded by the people, 200 shares more. So will the company increase their limit? Not at all, because it's loss for them. They have to be disciplined manner. They will be keeping 1,000 as 1,000. Now what they will do? Here the role of lottery system comes. The lottery decides the number of the people that had demanded for only 1,000 shares, and the remaining people who had demanded for the remaining 200 shares are not in consideration. Only those people are given the shares of that company, but those people who had demanded for the 200 shares are not given. It's also not like that. If I have applied it first and my friend had applied it last, even in the oversubscribed situation, still there is the chances, there is 1/2 probability whether I will get or he will get. He can also get it. It doesn't matter. You have listened this quote that everything is fair in love and war, but everything is fair in oversubscribed situation. Whether anyone is last or whether anyone is first, it doesn't matter. It depends on the luck, it depends on the lottery. Only in the oversubscribed situation. But there is a controversial situation too, and that is undersubscribed situation. Now with the word and the controversy between the two, you would have got what is an undersubscribed situation. Yes, you are correct. That is the number of the shares which were allowed by the company. Let's suppose ABC decides to allow 1,000 shares to be given off in the IPO. out of which in the results came, and out of which just 900 shares were demanded by the people and remaining 100 shares were not. But the date also gone, so no one can now apply. Those 100 shares were not chosen by anyone, not demanded by anyone. So in this situation, the share is called undersubscribed. And as you know, that here we don't need any help of lottery system, okay, because the share is undersubscribed. If it would be an oversubscribed or it would be equally subscribed, then we can think of a lottery system. But in the case of undersubscribed, no lottery system is required. Whoever has demanded for whichever amount of the shares, he will get it or she will get it. This is the case. And now I hope you have got a layman knowledge that what is IPO, how the IPOs are allotted, what is the process or the fundamentals of it. So we are ending it here, friends. Hope you like this video, and if you like this video, then drop a like to it. And if you are new to my channel, then subscribe my channel Has Some Minds. I will be posting content like this each week. I will try, really. Not kidding, friends. So till then, bye bye, see ya. Thanks for watching.